on film.
They like their news is like
Well,
totally.
they don't have freedom of the press.
The Jews run the media in Israel. That's one thing that a lot of people know. But in Israel, the Jews run the media, the news,
God damn it.
everything.
That sounds a little like an anti-Semitic trope, William.
There's like a Jewish guy. There's like an Israeli guy. Like, you ever think like the Jews run everything out here, man?
The Rothschilds built the Knesset. Look it up.
What I'm saying is Palestine is like a beautiful Canadian girl. Okay. Whoever gets first, it's all about control. It's in how much money you can squeeze out of it. You got to get the first, you got to get there early on. But just because you found it doesn't mean you get to keep it. There is no finders keepers.
They have autonomy over their own lives and bodies.
Disloyal hose. She was married.
He's this disloyal hose. He was cheating on
Yeah,
her. William.
that's meaningless. She knew he was cheating on her.
Well, we're clearly talking about. Well, I didn't know. So this is the movie Star 80, but I didn't realize when I was watching it that it's a real fucking story.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, this story is crazy. See, that's the thing about this movie. That's something you have to understand when you watch it now, is that this all happened in 1980. The movie came out in 1983, 84, like early 84.
It's fresh.
Everybody knew about it. It was a huge scandal, a huge story. It involved famous people, and it was everybody knew the details. So when they saw the movie, it was like viscerally repellent to most people.
Yeah.
Most people hated the movie, not for it being bad, but because it was so grimy and dark. And
Stuff bloody.
It also is about the murderer in the actual true life story, Paul Snyder. It's played by Eric Roberts. So that really rubbed people the wrong way. People were like,
it was in bad taste.
I like Dorothy Stratton. This is bad. And also, there's like a Richard Linklater video where he's talking about it at the Austin Film Society, and he's just like, it's 84. People are not into this tragic, dark, death of the American dream kind of shit. People don't like tragedies. They don't like knowing that this young woman is murdered, raped, killed, fucked, raped again. Like, just it was too much for most people. Because it's like already Reagan's second term in 84.
They're just trying to do cocaine. They're like, hey, we're partying. It's the 80s. Things are supposed to be good.
Is fucking a dead body technically rape?
That's an important question, Mike.
They can't consent.
It's a really cool
I guess. But I mean, if you like fuck a rock, you're not raping.
You have to write
that
a
rock.
note. You have to write a note first.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You have to give. It's like donor. It's like you got to get the "you can fuck my butt" card sticker.
Oh,
on
so
your
you got to write the note before you die. Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so here's 1984.
So it's not rape. Okay, good.
Here's the top 10 grossing movies of 1984. So you understand the climate that this movie Star 80 came out in. Number 1, Ghostbusters. Number 2, Beverly Hills Cop. 3, Temple of Doom. 4, Gremlins. 5, Karate Kid. 6, Police Academy. 7, Footloose. 8, Romancing the Stone.
What a year.
9, Star Trek 3. And number 10, Splash. These are, except for Beverly Hills Cop, these are all, and Police Academy, these are all PG movies.
Star Trek 3 was PG?
Possibly G. Possibly G.
Okay.
There is no PG-13. There is no PG-13 at the time, because remember, Gremlins and Temple of Doom created the need for a PG-13 because people took their 3-year-olds to see Gremlins and were freaked the fuck out. It was scary. Like your kid is a toddler, he would be scared of Gremlins.
Yeah, yeah. My daughter doesn't like Teletubbies, and it's a very similar thing. They don't like little bug eyes thing. Scary.
intense.
Teletubbies is rated PG-13.
Or Furbies. I'm sorry. She doesn't like Furbies, which are like a modern day gremlin.
She doesn't
Those
like
are-
fucking
They're more of a
people wearing
bobble.
animal costumes and fucking each other.
No, not furries. Furby with a B.
Oh, Furbies.
It was
That's
popular
sad. What are
maybe
you showing
15
her?
years ago. No.
So yeah, this
Okay,
movie
okay.
this
So she's
movie
a
was just a
square.
dark, vicious, disturbing film.
Hey,
No
they
one
didn't
was
include
ready
the
for
part
it.
where he fucks the dead body. So
Yeah, he does.
It's
he
inferred.
does.
They
Yeah.
they infer it. I mean, he straps her to the thing,
It's
but
been a couple days since I've seen it.
I
I forgot
don't-
about the fucking the dead body part, I guess.
He straps her down afterwards and like
What do you mean
it
Sure,
kind of
naked, though.
shows he straps her to that chair thing, the vinyl
Yeah, but like I
chair,
said-
the BDSM thing.
like I said,
Uh,
it was fresh
invention?
and it was everybody
Yeah.
knew about it when it happened. So everybody knew the details. So when he did this,
It's like if
You
somebody
could-
made like an OJ movie 3 years
well,
after
that's
the
30.
murder.
Yeah.
But it was like about like the graphic murder.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that.
Included the graphic murder scene.
Well, no, well, OJ didn't kill anyone, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Or it's about if 3 years after OJ stole his sports memorabilia bag, if they made like a
Oh.
scene showing the graphic scene of him stealing the sports memorabilia.
The kidnapping.
Yeah.
If you hold anyone against their will for any amount of time, that's kidnapping.
I wouldn't mind being kidnapped by the juice. You kidding?
Hell yeah. You know the stories he tell?
Also be like, I got kidnapped by this guy who fucking killed a bunch of people and he didn't kill me. That's an amazing feeling, probably.
Is
Like,
it?
I'm
Or is that a sad feeling?
It's good.
Like
It's
you,
good.
you want him to kill you?
No, you just feel like, oh, he picked me. This guy.
But he didn't pick you to kill.
That's the
You're
person he loved the
unworthy.
most.
Oh, yeah, I see. It's okay. You want
It's a crime of
You're more of a-
passion.
kill.
You're more of a Kalen type anyway. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
true.
you're not
Kato's
killable.
cool. Kato's the coolest motherfucker in that whole thing. He had like long hair. He was like an LA guy.
The OJ is the coolest guy in the whole thing. Come on.
Oh, sure. Okay, second to OJ. But I mean, he's the
Heisman
juice.
award-winning football player.
Yeah.
Greatest running back in the 1970s. Hands down.
Great, one of the great physical comedian actors of our time.
Great
What do we got?
influencer on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Look, I could talk about OJ all night. Let's get back to the movie.
Great brain cancer.
what about Eric Roberts? What do we think of Eric Roberts?
He's so good in this, and he's so good in everything. I don't understand why he just gets like little bit parts, which he also always kills anytime he does that.
Remember,
Why
he's
are
in
there not-
Dark. He's in
I
the
think-
Dark Knight, right?
He's
Yeah.
great in The Dark Knight. He's the best gangster in The Dark Knight by far. He's the best part of Spun, obviously. I mean, why isn't he in more starring roles? Or
There's
maybe
so
I
many
just
movies-
don't, I don't know what they
He's
are.
in like 1,000 movies.
Yeah, well, you
Like
know,
he's
he should be-
literally in like more movies than any single person. Because he's right, William?
He's
Well,
in
why
a
isn't he in
lot.
more? What's another
Oh, you-
starring movie
you
that
just-
he's
it's
in?
never
That's good.
enough for you.
There's a movie he's in where he just plays an extra.
That-
People
that-
were talking
oh,
about on
nice.
Twitter where he
That's
just
really-
he just like he doesn't even say a line. It's like a movie about LA, and then there's a guy who picks up a hot dog at a window, and it's Eric Roberts for one shot. Like
He just loves his. He just loves
maybe his scene
acting.
got cut, but it's like he does a lot of movies.
A
He,
movie, a good movie where he's a lead is Runaway Train, and John Voight is the other lead.
that
Okay,
movie's really
okay.
good. They
That
play
sounds
escaped
good.
convicts,
That's a canon.
and they
movie.
escape on a train in like Canada or Alaska, but it ends up becoming a runaway freight train. There's no one on board,
No food,
that-
nothing.
and he's in Pope of Greenwich Village. That's like his most famous performance.
I think he's
But-
really good in this, and it's good casting too, because like she's, it's like about her being beautiful or like eye candy and stuff like that. But he's like also eye candy. you know. And in the
He
movie, they shoot him
looks
like eye candy. He's like buff and oiled and everything. And he's got these
he looks
beautiful
way better
pretty
than the
eyes.
real guy. The real guy does not look. The real guy could have, he looks more Canadian. His hairline's bad.
But he was a pimp. But he like pimps
Nice.
this playmate out pretty much.
So the
What is
real
this
guy,
kind of pimp? This is like a type of pimp that is
well,
like,
it's a pimp.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, he's living off the earnings of a woman. He's a pimp,
And what is Hugh Hefner?
the biggest pimp of them all.
Right. So he's saying how, he's a small time pimp and he has his girl from Canada. He brings her to LA. First, Hugh Hefner picks her up. Then Peter Bogdanovich, a filmmaker, he picks her up all within the course of 18 months or something.
you're talking about the
And
real story.
She's
and
a
he
whore.
loses the girl. And it's just like there's a series of pimps for him that he can't compete with, because remember, he has other women. He can have sex with other women. That's not
Yeah,
hard.
he's fucking
But he
just
can't
likes
make
the
any
strippers at
money
the
off
strip
them.
clubs.
This is his
Can't-
$1 million hoe. He's his $1 million bitch. They call it
He got a Jaguar. He got or a BMW. He gets all these cars,
Mercedes.
clothes,
This is
house.
401k. You know what I'm saying?
He
There's no
found her.
401k for pimps. That's the problem, man.
What I'm saying is like you get a good hoe, and that's your $1 million hoe is like your 401k.
He found
Fair
her
enough.
at Dairy Queen for real.
A Dairy Queen in Canada?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Now, what he's doing before he finds her is he's one of the co-creators of Chippendales. The male.
Oh, okay. That's why he was doing all that shit in the bar.
So he was into these like shows. He has all these hustles. So he'll do like a show, like a wet t-shirt contest, but for guys and for women to watch. It's like
It's very
guys are
forward
dancing.
thinking.
Yes, it is. It
It's
is.
kinda like
But
Elon
remember those gangsters who hold him out the window by his feet?
Oh yeah.
He gets like the Vanilla Ice treatment that Suge
Yes.
Knight did to Vanilla Ice.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Why were those guys holding him out the window? I'm sorry. I'm
Because
sure it's very simple.
they don't explain it in the movie,
Okay,
probably because
okay,
they
good,
can't go into the detail. But apparently, I think those are the guys who stole Chippendales from him.
good.
They're just like,
Mhm.
give us all these hot honky guys.
Well, he had
He's like,
partners. He had
"Okay."
partners, and they were just like, get out of here. You're done. Well, don't forget the mafia
That's-
the mafia's into sex work more than, because no legitimate business could really do it besides Hugh Hefner. But porn, that's like funded with mafia money.
Hey, what's so special about Hugh Hefner? Why did he get to do it?
That's the thing. He's very special. He was
special.
very lucky and very special in that he was able to pull it off, but it was a completely underground thing.
I
think
mean, there's no
he bas-
penetration in Playboy. So I mean, he's just like right on the edge of what is socially acceptable and not. And he played that edge very well.
He probably went to college. He probably spoke right. He probably he probably had to pay politicians. He probably had to figure things out to make it. It probably wasn't easy to get Playboy on every newsstand in the country. I'm sure, especially when it first started, it was very difficult. I bet, because think about all the red states, all the religious laws they would have. It must not have been easy to be like, hey guys, I'm rolling this magazine out. He probably had to regionally expand it, pack it with articles, pack it with celebrities, go on TV. Remember he had a TV show, Playboy After Dark. It probably was very hard for him and took a lot of work.
Playboy
but by this point,
that was
in the
very hard
80s
for a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Penises.
But back then, were they even showing muff? Or it was just topless women, right? They didn't show pussy at all, right? So, I mean, that's like nothing. I think that's easy to work in.
Well, you gotta remember where they sold it.
And this is the 70s or the 60s?
I'm talking about the 60s. I'm talking about the 60s. It could.
You're right after the 50s. People are still kind of conservative.
And plus, remember Florida banned 2F Crew.
Yeah.
In the 90s, like there's crazy sheriffs who would just like bust people. So he had the skills, he had the connections that Paul Snyder just doesn't have. Paul Snyder, like you can see in the movie, he's very emotional. He's very frustrated. He's very controlling, and he's not good around people. But he's really good around Dorothy. He just
But he's like
zeroes
a
in on her.
narcissistic, like hustler guy. So he's like, but he's like,
Well, he's an
super, like,
asshole. He's a piece
He's
of
good
shit.
around. He's
he's
good around
crazy.
Dorothy at
He's
the
crazy.
start, but
he's like
yeah,
a scumbag, and he's crazy and stuff like that. But he's like totally. By the way, that's why this movie is good, because he's like an awesome character who's
yeah,
just a complete scumbag.
yeah.
He's like a horny psycho, but he's like very much like a narcissistic. That's like very much like a narcissistic.
But he's so self-destructive and such a failure. Remember when he finally gets to the Playboy Mansion and they're talking to that TV actor, Vincent O'Neill or whatever.
Yeah.
They probably made up a name. And he's like, "Oh, what was that show you're on? Oh, it's canceled." Right? That was a few years ago. And like he's really digging into him and making him like, "Hey, this is my girl. Don't talk to her."
And he's like gushing to Hugh and also to like the other. He sees like another Playboy bunny that he's like,
You know, their magazine.
he's like, "Oh, I love your work and stuff like that." And he starts getting like too much and stuff. And that's like, if for husbands, if you're like in public with your wife and you see a nude model that you
They
like
weren't
and
married at that point
masturbating
yet,
to,
though, right? They weren't married
just,
yet, right?
just don't say hi. Just
Well,
don't
yeah,
say,
duh.
just don't tell this nude model how much you like her.
Well, he has
work. If you're
no
with your
intelligence. His behavior is
wife or
awful
girlfriend.
at the Playboy Mansion. And
He's
also they know
extremely self-conscious. I mean, later he starts hating on himself for how stupid he was at the party and everything, which that ain't helping you.
he's
Yeah,
also
it's high pressure situation.
he has no job. He has no
So you guys-
status.
You guys
They
think
know
he'd do
they
better?
know he's the guy with no job who's just trying to take her money. I
You
mean,
guys
he's
think
her
he would be
manager.
better if you went to the Playboy Mansion? You think it'd be smoother?
Yes. Than
I
a
wouldn't-
murder
Oh,
than
hello.
a pimpish murderer.
I wouldn't be with my girlfriend there, obviously. That probably didn't help.
I would just go like, "Hey, it's Bill Maher. Oh man, I love Club Random.
Yeah, you'd be gushing to Bill Maher.
Jimmy Kahn.
All right.
The guy
He's
from Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I always think of Fred Durst as being like, I don't know, why is he one of like the main? I'm like, oh, the Playboy, what's the fucking mansion called? Yeah, like
Playboy Mansion.
the Playboy Mansion. I thought I was almost saying the Play Mansion. That's stupid. But I was just being like, why is he like the main celebrity that my brain visualizes when I think of that?
Mine did too. I don't know why.
Him and Andy Dick. I don't know if Andy Dick is correct, but I also picture Andy Dick at the Playboy Mansion.
I just assumed Andy Dick was gay, but maybe he's bi or something.
He's super gay. But they love gay
Okay,
guys at the Playboy Mansion. It's a Hollywood spot.
I guess there's no Chippendales Mansion or Playgirl Mansion.
Yeah, they got to go somewhere.
Penthouse
They got to go to a
Mansion?
mansion.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, how come Larry didn't get his own mansion?
What about Larry Flint? Yeah, why didn't he have a party mansion? He just did heroin and sat in a room for 4 years.
That's basically like having a mansion. It's kind of the same thing.
Heroin is that good though? Isn't that awesome
That's
that
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
just sit in a room for 4 years, not fuck?
Yeah, I'm saying that's that's an equal experience basically.
Hugh Hefner wasn't even that rich, really.
Just
I
connected.
mean, he's wealthy, but it wasn't.
What do you mean?
He wasn't a
wanted to be like
billionaire.
Bill Gates or something.
He
like
wasn't
that?
as rich as Larry Flint. That's
Oh,
for
really?
sure. No,
Nice.
Larry
What's
Flint
that?
was a much better businessman.
Hell yeah.
So, like Hugh Hefner, net worth 45 million.
He's not rich.
Well, that's,
You know who's
That's how
fucking
much
rich?
That's how much money Ryan has.
You know who's fucking rich are those guys who create TV shows. Larry Flint
What?
net worth $500 million. So
right on.
you know
Better
what I mean?
magazine
Like,
too.
Oh, yeah, dude.
he owned like
Heroin
a bunch of.
addict. That's a
he owned
big W for heroin addicts.
He doesn't blow his money on having like a hustler mansion where you're just giving out shit all the time and
Yeah.
trying to house your hoes in your house. Yeah.
No, he also was a pimp. And also, he's a guy who stole the business idea, but then made the one innovation,
Which is spread, the little spread.
the show Pink.
Ooh.
The 2-finger spread. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Just that little
very
finger
important.
thing. Yeah.
It's very important. It's like
I'll do it with my
like you're
mouth
holding a
real quick to
cigarette
show you.
upside down.
Like
No,
that.
Adam's spreading his lips with his 2 fingers.
It's like that.
I don't get it.
It's the pussy fingers.
The pussy.
Oh. Yeah, well, you had like a sideways pussy. It looked like
sorry.
a pustache or something.
That's
Now, what
cool.
did
That sounds
Penthouse?
cool.
What was Penthouse's thing?
That's
Just
Larry
in between.
Flynn.
It's Bob Guccione. It's in between Playboy and Hustler.
Hustler.
Penthouse.
Bob Guccione.
He's more New York. He produced Caligula. He's like a creepy, pimpish guy. These guys are all pimps. And, Eric Roberts, Paul Snyder, he just couldn't compete with them. They saw all the angles. They've seen guys like him before. Now, when Eric Roberts was preparing for the role, he said, these guys are all over LA, these losers, these pathetic dudes. So he would just use people. He just knew lots of people. But he said when he really zeroed in on it was there's a scene where he's playing guitar and he messed up his guitar playing. And Bob Fosse, the director, pulled him aside and said, don't you realize that the character you're playing is me if I wasn't successful? And so Bob Fosse, he's one of the most important theater directors and film directors of all time. He was a dancer who was very innovative. He directed Chicago on stage. Okay. I'm sure you guys are huge Chicago fans.
I had to watch that movie a lot with my high school girlfriend. That was that and Moulin Rouge. Those were the two movies she made me watch a lot.
He did not direct that movie. He directed the play.
Yeah.
But he was a big dancer. This is something he's really well known for. I'm going to share my screen.
I don't understand what any of this has to do with him not being able to play the guitar.
Basically, Bob Fosse is a very smooth, slick individual who dresses very well. Eric Roberts looks so much better than Paul Snyder in real life in this movie. But look at this. This is like Bob Fosse dancing, and people compare it to Michael Jackson. It's from The Little Prince. Now, Bob Fosse's 48 years old.
I could do this.
You think you could?
Yeah, holding your jacket open, and I could do. That spin looks a little tough, but I could practice it. I think I'd do an all right job.
So he's a director. He's a dancer. He's in like 50s movies, but he also would do tons of speed. And Eric Roberts said he was on speed every day making this movie.
Eric Roberts was?
No, Bob Fosse, the director.
Gotcha.
He's basically on speed for decades. Did you ever see All That Jazz?
No, I've never seen a Bob Fosse movie except for.
So All That Jazz is his life story. It's kind of like 8.5, but his own life. And it's about him chain smoking cigarettes, taking speed, popping pills, and being a dance director, sleeping with tons of women, having horrible relationships with everyone in his life, and just sort of burning himself out and dying. It's a really cool movie. Like, if you don't like musicals, if you just the idea of a musical makes you just go, no, I'm not going to watch that. Bob Fosse's the guy you should watch because all his movies are R-rated, tons of nudity, tons of drugs.
It's like or what's the comedy that's not?
It's not anti-comedy. It's just that he was
comedy. It's like alt musicals, an alt musical.
More like rebel musicals.
Oh, that's a cool term. Did you just come up with that?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's like rebel country, but it's like rebel musicals. All That Jazz is Roy Schneider playing him.
It's musicals for the straight guys.
Yes, and he
Right.
bangs tons of hoes.
The
He's not
back
gay.
thing.
That's also something about him is unique. A lot of these guys were gay.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask. He looks gay in this, but I guess he's not.
No,
He's
he's just
from
doing the dance. He's just dancing.
Yeah.
That's just
Oh,
dancing.
A straight male
Do you
dancer. Yeah.
understand?
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, a straight man, but his dad, yeah.
But
He's
That's all it
really
takes.
good at dancing.
now when you watch the movie, then you see remember that Chippendales kind of scene where they're playing YMCA and there's like extremely skinny, muscular, greased up guys
Yeah,
How could I
dancing.
forget? I couldn't possibly
course.
forget that scene.
Yes,
And
I
they
remember.
get into like the kiddie pool and they're doing push-ups.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
then they
how I
like
work
pull
out.
their underwear, they pull the stuffing out of their underwear and throw it into the audience. Like
Cock
Funny
sock.
joke. Yeah,
every shot in that scene, in that sequence is perfect. And like you could tell he's pushing everyone so fucking hard to get all the details right. Like these guys dancing in that scene are probably really good dancers. Like they're not just like, hey, it's some hunk we got. Like he's relentless, he's on speed, and he's just like going for everything like 100 miles per hour in this movie. There's a TV version of this movie called Death of a Centerfold with Jamie Lee Curtis. And
yeah.
I'm gonna show you some of this movie, so you could see how unbelievably shitty it is.
Looks pretty good so far.
So that's Paul Snyder. This is supposed to be the ice cream shop or whatever where Jamie Lee Curtis works.
The ceiling was missing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
no.
it's made for TV garbage. There's Jamie Lee Curtis, who looks way too old.
That's a major thing you don't want to do when you're making a movie. Is
Look at this guy's
don't want
pimp,
to forget about the ceiling.
his leather or his fur coat. Look how old this guy is playing Paul. But like,
Yeah.
look at this fake ass mansion.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then here's
Okay.
he rapes her, kills her. But like, look how cheesy it is. So in Star 80,
that was 1981 too.
that's right after, yes. So like in Star 80, that neighborhood is in Vancouver where she lives. That's the same neighborhood Dorothy Stratton lived in. Okay. The Playboy Mansion, they didn't get permission to shoot at the Playboy Mansion, but they do a good job faking it because they keep it kind of on the interior.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they made a smart choice of not trying to make the grotto
Right.
a thing.
And then
You'd have to have Fred Durst if you're going to do the grotto. There's just no way you can do it without him.
the
Gene Siskel, remember him? Mm-hmm.
the house at the end that he lives in with the gynecologist guy.
That is a plastic surgeon.
Plastic surgeon. I always think he's a gynecologist.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Oh, yeah. But best job in the world, guys, right? Gynecologist. Oh yeah, that's the real
No
best.
chance. No chance of lawsuits at all. Not possible.
Let me just do a little sniff test. They love that. No, that's the real house Dorothy Stratton was murdered in. That's the real house they lived in.
Whoa.
That's the real
Cool.
house. Like if you go on Google and you Google image search Real House Dorothy Stratton, it's the fucking house from the movie.
Makes
So
sense.
it's-
'Cause that house looks a little
Awesome.
small for them to like share, like he was saying that they were going to split that house. It seemed kind of tiny.
Yes.
That's what really happened.
But did he actually split that house with a?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm way off.
Remember, this is like this entire movie takes place over the course of like less than 2 years. I mean, this is really fast. Like he meets her in Vancouver, he gets her photos taken. Well, he takes her to prom, which really happened. They move to LA. She becomes Playmate of the Year. She does like 3 movies, leaves him, and then dies within 2 years. So it's not like she had like millions of dollars. She just was kind of getting started, and he was
yeah.
and he was
And she was
blowing all the
dating-
money.
So the director in the movie is supposed to be Peter Bogdanovich.
Yes.
Was she in a Peter Bogdanovich movie?
Yes, she is. I can pull it up. So this movie, so then this becomes like almost like Sharon Tate shit. So she's in this movie called They All Laughed, and they shoot it in New York. John Ritter's in it.
By the way, you know who plays this character in the movie? It's the guy. You'd recognize him?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Got it.
That's the only movie of his
Sheriff
I recognize.
Rottingham. Sheriff of Rottingham.
Oh wow, yeah. Wow, he aged. Yeah, that's funny.
This is his first film.
He aged. It's really funny when he aged.
Years pass, people age. It's fucking tragedy.
That's fucking insane, dude.
He's dead too.
Oh, come on.
No.
Why you gotta say it like that?
And he's
That's
gay.
the real tragedy. No. Just kidding. That's cool. That's actually cool.
So remember in the movie, in the Star 80 movie, there's like a roller skating scene.
Yes.
Okay.
It's based on this scene in the movie. Some like maybe they really did it in one of those Playboy videos. There's tons of footage
probably.
of Dorothy Stratton.
Is that her?
But yeah, that's really
There she
her. And then
is.
see John Ritter gets all nervous
She looks
and
better
falls
there.
down. Yeah, that's the other thing. She looks way better than Mariel Hemingway. And that's sort of like for people who really know about Dorothy Stratton, because she was like, she's in this movie, she's in other movies that you can watch. And people had the magazine. A lot of them are pretty critical of Mariel Hemingway.
Jeez. Poor Mariel.
Because
Still, can you stop sharing?
how do you, it's like,
Yeah, put it back. I want to see Adam.
Thanks.
what do you mean?
I miss Mike's
Well,
face.
I can't. Oh, there. Never mind. You do whatever you want to do, William. I don't care. I swiped right on Adam.
But you can
did,
see
bro.
like,
You did,
but
bro.
like John Ritter's basically playing Peter Bogdanovich in real life. Like he's wearing glasses like Peter Bogdanovich. And he's just like, Peter Bogdanovich is just falling in love with this young blonde actress. The same thing happened when he made Last Picture Show. He left his wife and got with Sybil Shepherd.
Nice.
He made a bunch of movies with her. I mean, she could have been in a bunch of movies with Peter Bogdanovich.
Damn.
But unfortunately, her
Well-
head was blown off with a shotgun.
Classic Hollywood tale.
And
So
then
they
raped.
Well, Mariel Hemingway. So
they hold on. So they all laughed when that movie came out. People were like, I don't want to see this movie because it's depressing because that actress is dead.
oh, that came out after. They all laughed.
Yes.
That came out after.
He's
That's not a great title for after
yes.
the lead actress has her head.
And also it's the Peter Bogdanovich did they get, I forget if they got married, if they actually got divorced and married in that amount of times, but like he said he was like fully in love with her. So then he has to finish editing the movie and release the movie with her being dead. They have to do press.
Oof, that's insane, dude.
It bombed, to say the least. It's like one of the biggest bombs ever. It's like a brutal, colossal.
It's because of that. Or
I mean, that's a big. It's hard to say. I don't think the studio was very confident about it, and it just was like this movie's bombing. Like we're not.
Because I've seen some Letterboxd reviews of that movie recently. From
People love
I
it.
follow or whatever, and people are like, "Oh, this movie's awesome."
It's incredible. It's an extremely good movie, and also you get why everybody loved Dorothy Stratton when you watch it. You're like, holy shit,
wow.
this actress is like.
Oh, she's really good.
Okay,
actress.
she's not a good actress, but you're like, this 20-year-old Playboy model is
Something special.
And I kind of want to just take her, control her, and get all her money. I don't know what it is about her. Like I want to
And then shoot her in the head. And fuck, dead body.
I want to make posters.
And then shoot myself. That's a charismatic person.
I love how he's always making things to sell, and he has hustles. Remember that like stupid metal?
Yeah, a bench. He basically invented the bench without the hooks for the bar.
Remember the chimes thing in Canada? Like he has this like metallic. It's like something you would hang on a tree or like on your porch.
Or like a wind chime.
Oh no, he made a bouquet out of metal. like scrap
Yeah.
metal.
Okay. Now,
Yeah,
now what you're talking about.
He
Yeah.
made
yeah.
like flowers, and she's like,
And she's
"Wow,
like, oh, yeah.
that seems really hard to do."
She's like really sweet about it. Little does she know. Yeah, that's cool. I like that about that guy. I feel like I would. I like him inventing things. I don't make them, but so he's got a little bit more like
He works harder than you.
attitude than me. Yeah, yeah.
He's a
But
go-getter.
but hey, we're kind of glossing over Muriel Hemingway. She's the lead of the movie, or she's the second,
She's not the lead.
second lead.
Correct.
Come on.
Correct.
Let's talk about this person for a little bit.
She doesn't have the Dorothy Stratton.
But I kind of, because the only other thing I've seen of her in is Manhattan. Obviously, Mike, do you know that she's in Manhattan?
No, I did not know that.
Speaking of another cool pimp,
Well, she plays Woody Allen's high school.
I gotta write this shit down.
She plays Woody Allen's 17-year-old high school girlfriend in Manhattan.
Okay.
And she's really good in that movie. Actually, she kind of has like she's really good at playing like being like innocent. And heartbroken. She has like a good heart when she does like has to do like a heartbroken scene. It kind of gets you. So I feel like maybe that's why she had this part or something. It's like off of that.
She's in a bunch of movies. Well,
it's weird though. It's weird though to see like, because she's doing pretty much the same performance as the one in Manhattan, but I didn't ever realize, because Manhattan is shot in black and white, and I never realized that Muriel Hemingway was like tan and blonde, basically. So like,
just so you know, Adam, just so you know, she was extremely famous before Manhattan.
Well, she's Ernest Hemingway's granddaughter.
She's also a child actress. She's in a movie called Lipstick.
Okay.
Anyway, so, but she's like, super naive in Lipstick. This is her thing. She's super naive.
Okay, yeah.
Up until like, Star 80.
But like knowing that, because like the thing about Manhattan is like Woody Allen didn't want to release it. Like he's like his movie he hates. It's probably his best movie, and it's like the movie that he hates, and he was asking the company, the United Artists or something like that, to like, he's like, I'll make a movie for you for free if you don't release this movie. And they're like, what are you talking about? And like now it seems like he's like, fuck, I made a movie where I'm a pedophile. Like I'm like outed myself. I gotta like keep this from being released or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, William?
That makes that movie sound better.
Do you know that?
I want to watch it now.
You didn't know that?
It's not something I really care. I don't find it interesting or something I care about. And it's something you brought up on the podcast before.
Why don't you find it interesting?
Well, there's no point to your story.
No. I'm saying more.
Because you're like, here's the thing about Muriel Hemingway, and then you were like,
just calm down.
She's in Manhattan. Now, here's the thing about Manhattan.
Knowing that like he shot a movie where he dated like a 17-year-old high school girl, but also like finding out later, seeing that her now in this movie,
which is legal in New York, which is totally legal age of consent in New York, so it's not a pedophile thing.
Calm down. But like finding out in this movie like that, because it's in black and white, so you don't realize that she's also like blonde and tan. But like I want to see like the color version of Manhattan, where it's like this blonde tan high school girl is dating like this pale.
Yeah, hold on. I want to see the colored version of Manhattan. You know what I mean? With Richard Pryor.
Yeah, totally.
And Webster.
Yes, I understand.
And he's dating Webster. No, like I heard an interview with this woman on Howard Stern, and she claimed she was the like 16-year-old real life girlfriend of Woody Allen. And that he was like, I'm going to cast you in this movie. I'm writing a movie about you. It's about us. It's called Manhattan. And she was like way younger than Muriel Hemingway. And then he was like, I'm dumping you. And then he dumped her and then just made it with Muriel Hemingway. And then he married his daughter. So the guy,
everything worked out.
He's European. He's very European. You know, this is all cool shit in Europe. You know, this is what you do.
That's true.
But it's true love with Sun Yi. They're still together. They got kids.
It was his stepdaughter, though, right? I mean, obviously, it wasn't his actual daughter.
What he says is so crazy. He said it was his wife's daughter, that they lived in 2 apartments, and that it was just like, oh, I never even noticed Soon Yi was around. This is your kid? That we Are they even married technically? I don't even know if they were technically married. There's so much crazy shit with that, but um she found nude photos of Soon Yi, Polaroids.
That's
And
not good.
it all came out. And then like her Soon Yi had
Why you gotta
siblings.
take the Polaroids, Woody? Why?
Her siblings were like, oh, I guess we won't ever see Soon Yi ever again. That was our sister. Because she adopted a bunch of kids.
She was like the
Angelina
like
Jolie.
like the older teenage sister of a bunch of kids that Mia Farrow adopted. And she like was there with them pretty much, even though she was like almost not a kid or like almost not. She was almost not a kid. Got to keep that in mind. So
It's like one of those things, like in there's that movie where the donkey plays football, or Air Bud, and they're like,
yeah,
there's
it was
nothing
this
in
other
the
donkey one.
there's nothing in the rule book against it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
how
lot like that.
That's how Woody Allen got away with this. He's very crafty, that guy.
Basically
Gro-
an Airbud situation.
Grooming's not illegal. I mean, it's you can't really prove that to be illegal.
Also, like so many youth pastors do this. So I've read like about so many
Paul
youth
Walker
pastors
did
that
it, right? Wasn't Paul Walker one of these guys?
Paul Walker groomed.
I
Grooming, by the
believe
way,
so.
sounds like a good thing. So you got to like clarify. Groom it. You want to be groomed. You take your dog to the groomer. You're not letting him get like fucked by an old man.
Depends
You
on
know
which
what I'm saying?
groomer.
That's true.
It all goes down in Hollywood. I would love to see Star 80 about a guy into dogs, like star dogs.
Hell yeah.
He's
Like a
like,
dog's like
whoa,
big juicy ass.
that's one good-looking golden retriever.
Oh, I like how Eric Roberts is also a pedophile or like for Meryl Hemingway's sister. Or like
Now,
kid sister.
we have to bring this up. That kid's sister later married Peter Bogdanovich, and they were married for like
Wait, in the movie or the real kid sister?
in real life.
The real life kid sister of
Dorothy Stratton.
Oh, okay.
In 1988, she married Peter Bogdanovich, and they were married until 2001. So that's like a Hunter Biden thing where you're with with the
nice.
sibling of the dead relative, or the dead spouse or whatever.
Damn, Peter.
That was nice of him to comfort her like that after such a loss.
Yeah. No movies made with her.
I mean,
How
they
come people
both
aren't giving
lost.
Peter shit for that? How come they're not being like, hey, you're creepy weirdo?
He did, but it's just not
Also,
in our.
by the way, you got
It's
a
been
guy
memory
wears a
hold.
scarf
It's
like that. A guy wears a scarf or an ascot or whatever he wears like that. Like he's doing something weird. So you don't need to even like.
What about Scooby Doo? Freddy.
Freddy is fucking a child.
He's fucking Scooby Doo.
Yeah, he's fucking a
Oh,
dog.
hell yeah, dude.
Not a child. Yeah.
Well, that's a consent. I feel like Scooby's like an adult dog. He's not fucking scrappy. You know what I'm saying?
Scooby can communicate consent, definitely.
Yeah. Fucking.
Checking out her That's not her Instagram. I don't know what Louise Stratton ever did. I don't understand. She married Peter Bogdanovich, and then she's a producer. She produced some of his movies.
Oh, the lady's sister.
She became a
So they had a
producer.
long, fulfilling relationship. Well, everything worked out for her. This character is weird in the movie, though.
Director, because he can't make him specifically about him. That's another weakness of the movie. You can't.
No, I meant
you
the
can't
sister,
just.
but yeah.
Yeah. I meant director. Like you can't just nail Peter Bogdanovich. What do they call him? Like Errol or some shit.
Aram.
Aram is like, oh hey, very good. Oh yes.
Can't give him an ascot.
No.
But
what about the sister? I like the brother. He's always like, bullshit. I don't like this guy. Paul Snyder. He's a piece of shit. He gives
yeah, that'd be tough.
he gives the sister her own corsage.
Oh, he wants to fuck her.
He's grooming.
Yeah, clearly.
And then the mom, she has to get permission to bring her to LA. And she's like, they do this like cool thing where it's like a documentary. It's like a mockumentary kind of. It's like a fake documentary thing, which I think he
Yeah,
did
they
on
were all right.
Lenny.
I didn't love the interviews, to be honest, but it's all good.
Some of them are funny, but when I like the shot of her, Carol Baker plays her, where she's like, I never would have signed it. I never would have signed it. That's a
Yeah.
cool shot. She does a good job. I also like the guy that takes the photos. And they're playing Harry Nilsson, and Paul Snider's just in the way, and he's just like, no, do this, do that. And the guy's like, all right, shut up. Let me photograph this. And then at the end, he says, he got another photographer to take the photos, and he cut him out on the finder's fee for Playboy. That guy was a real bastard.
Agreed.
Hey, what about that one scene where all the guys in the restaurant are looking at Mariel Hemingway, and that one guy's like that one really ugly guy, like winking at her and shit. It's like a shot. The kid is drinking milk, is looking at her.
And then what does Eric Roberts say to him? He walks up to him and says, your fly's open and the whole restaurant can see your dong.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
say
that's
dong.
what he was doing. Okay, yeah.
And then
Cool
that's
that
like
he says dong.
that restaurant's like a Sizzler. It's like kind of like it's like very middle class suburban like steak restaurant. Let's take a wonderful Canadian dinner date.
Yeah,
he has a cool Trans Am though.
That Trans Am was badass.
Hey, you ever think about what it'd be like to be a beautiful lady?
No.
No, you never.
I thought you said a beautiful man like Eric Roberts, and the answer
No,
is yes.
no.
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, I
well,
do.
a beautiful man, I guess, could get some eyes, but imagine being a beautiful lady. You're getting a lot of looks.
If I was a beautiful lady, I imagine I would have to be very careful what I said or who I dated, because my boyfriend at the prom, my ex-boyfriend might mock my new boyfriend, and then my new boyfriend, the pimp Paul Snider, might use his nail clipper knife to stab him and cause a commotion.
That was a good move.
I figured you would like that. It's a nice stabbing scene.
Yeah, that was a good move. I like that.
Nice.
Especially at a high school prom. That's a perfect place for it.
Yeah,
26-year-old guy stabbing.
Yeah.
High
A
school
17-year, 16-year-old doing.
This is an awesome character. It's a cool movie character.
He's
It's
the
a
whole
shame
movie.
he died at the end, because I would have loved to see a sequel. Like once he's past this, like, this whole story, this origin story. I want to see where this character goes. You know what I'm saying?
I imagine he would have made it eventually. He has the tenacity to make it. It's just like, why'd you get so sprung on this one woman?
Well, it's like
you can't choose who you love, William.
That's a justify.
You can't choose who you fall in love with.
Well, no, it's like you think you got $1 million hoe or whatever you're saying, and like, what if you were like a really supportive husband, and then your wife got famous and started thinking started like realizing that you were like just a creepy loser weirdo.
Yes,
what if
I
you
definitely
could realize that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh shit, she's learning.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. Definitely been the shitty boyfriend that some girl needs to break up with to find herself or to progress in life.
That should be like a type of prenup that you can sign, where you're like, hey, you can't leave me because you have realized that I'm a complete weird, creepy loser.
Women don't respect the sanctity of marriage. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem, Mike.
But don't
You're
forget,
right.
I mean, look, she's 20 years old. Obviously, she's gonna, move to LA, find a new dude. It's just
Of course.
like,
yeah, that's like, what do you do? Like, if you
and he's
move to LA at 20 and
26.
you're with your boyfriend, you're fucked.
he probably must have had this experience a few times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But she's Playmate of the Year. It'll never be better than this. He knows it. It just will never be better. He'll never, ever, he'll never be with marry the Playmate of the Year ever again.
He lost his cool. You gotta keep your cool. He drove her away. So like, you know, if he held on, she was a good woman and stuff like that. She maybe was like getting tantalized and
She never
tempted and
met
stuff.
anyone. That's
What do
the
you mean?
thing. It's just like,
But she didn't meet anybody before him. Like,
yeah, like
yeah.
it's his fault. And remember, she said, let's move back to Canada. Let's have a nice, calm life. And he's like, no, we need the contacts. We need to go and make money and be successful. And he's pushing her to go on auditions. He's pushing her to do all these things. And it's like, you're just losing your chick.
Dude.
And she also is his moneymaker, right? So this is the massive problem. We don't make money off of our significant others. So that's a very
What do you
twisted.
say? Why you say we?
Well, we all have chicks.
That's you. Don't speak for me, Mike and I. Okay.
I don't pimp out my girlfriend. I mean I would if I could,
I'm
but
pimping my wife out, but she's fucking
not
actually has like a W-2 job.
y'all
She's
1099.
I get
Oh
my
my
health
God.
insurance through her. I don't know if that's the same
Oh
thing as
my.
pimping your wife out, but dude, by the way, so Mike,
Yes, sir.
you don't so the real Dorothy Stratton is more beautiful maybe than Muriel Hemingway, but you see this lady naked a lot, Muriel Hemingway, which is kind of cool for an actress. Like for the a lead in a movie, you see her fully naked a lot in the movie.
It would be nice if she should have got breast implants
for the fifth role.
Yes, and then also his side chick that was in like the black panties, and he was like saying that he was going to take her to the Playboy Mansion, and he totally fucks it up. She was way hotter than Mariel Hemingway, in my opinion.
Agreed. I thought so also.
But it is cool to see a movie with a protagonist that is just nude this much. You don't see the protagonist of a movie or one of the like leads of a movie like nude this much.
Her willingness to be slutty doesn't do anything for me.
There should be like a scene in like Lord of the Rings where like Frodo's doing like a nude photo shoot.
I take a nude elf. The elves are hot in that. I always thought about fucking them.
Gandalf just taking pictures, being
no,
like,
the elves, not the wizards. The women.
No,
elves.
I'm saying Gandalf is taking the pictures.
I'm sure you could find.
No,
that
and it's not the women
on,
elves. It's talk about the protagonist of the movie needs to be.
They
naked.
got hairy feet.
Who's the protagonist of Lord of the Rings?
Elijah Wood.
Frodo. Yeah.
Him being naked.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Gandalf taking pictures.
He's
being like,
there is a
back,
Gollum
Frodo.
like obsession that Paul Snyder has with Dorothy Stratton.
Nice, William. Nice. Go on.
She is his precious. He's obsessed with her.
Wow. Very good. This is good insight.
He's creepy. I mean, I would have loved Eric Roberts to have played Gollum.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome.
Gollum Goes Hollywood.
Yeah, Gollum needs to be more of like a greaseball guy. You know?
He's Jewish also. The real life guy would wear a Star David gold necklace, which I think is really cool.
Nice. Instead of the dollar sign, that would be cooler.
So he was a big Israeli.
Let's not get political, Adam.
$2.
That's the star. That's the star. That's what the flag is. Just saying.
I don't understand.
I'm just connecting a dot. But
connecting
also,
a dot. Good for you.
Thank you. This
Just
movie is
do a
weird.
dot.
Go ahead.
A dot on a dot.
What are we talking about? Okay.
Movie's beautiful. That's what it is. It's shot by Sven Nykvist, who shot all the Ingmar
Woody
Bergman
Allen
movies.
Woody Allen movies, you mean?
Which Woody Allen movies?
Oh, he shot a bunch of Woody Allen movies, but Woody Allen used him because he was like Bergman's cinematographer.
Did he do? He didn't do
You di-
that really boring, shitty one.
I
where
mean,
they're on the
Gordon Willis shot all
where
the
they're in the
best Woody
fucking
Allen
Long
movies, but
Island.
probably wait, like what is that like?
You know
Half,
that
that's like
awful
half of the
one
Woody
where it's
Allen
three
movies.
women and a
Oh,
house on Long Island?
Interiors.
Yeah, that one's like that's definitely a Gordon Willis, I think. But
The shot
Um,
at the end where they're both dead, laying on the ground with the bloody mattress. That was really cool, and I felt like you guys being able to pick out that shot as being cool.
Crimes and
Ah,
Misdemeanors, New York Stories,
so like late '80s stuff. That's cool.
Celebrity, Another Woman.
He shot Celebrity.
Oh yeah,
Damn, dude, he's old. I thought he'd be dead by then. Well, he shot Something to Talk About. Jesus Christ. Sleepless in
he
Seattle.
gave him something to talk about.
Let's give him something to talk about.
That's the song that Woody Allen and Sun Yi. That's about Woody Allen and Sun Yi.
Let's give. Oh, he shot Pretty Baby. Do you guys know what Pretty Baby is?
That's Brooke
Mm.
Shields, right?
It's
negative.
Brooke.
That's from my video store days.
Yeah, Brooke Shields plays a 13-year-old prostitute in New Orleans, and Keith Carradine is way into her. I think he might marry her. Like he buys her and marries her.
This is kind of like a common theme in 70s movies, I feel like.
She's naked a bunch of times. Like you see her nipples.
Like Mariel Hemingway is like, she has like, it's like her body's like young or whatever. It's like, you know how like people like big asses and stuff like that now? Like in the
Big
70s,
titties.
like they just liked women who just looked like children. They just like the idea of like like it was just about like a
Underdeveloped.
take a big ass, replace a
Well,
big
they
ass
said,
with a child.
but don't forget
and
in the
that's what people like.
50s, Marilyn Monroe is very voluptuous.
That's
right?
true. But the 70s, what happened?
Twiggy is what
Twiggy.
Twiggy apparently is when they started turning into
Blaming the woman.
sticks.
Gross.
Blaming Twiggy.
Do you like Twiggy, Mike?
No, I do not. It's a fitting name for her stick-looking ass.
That's why they called her Twiggy. She was, it wasn't her actual name, Mike. I gotta say.
No.
Yeah. She
Twig
does
it.
sound like she was named by you. But
Who's your ideal model, Mike?
Like I said, I'm really into Megan Thee Stallion right now, but I'm starting to move towards Sexy Red.
who's Sexy Red? I never heard of this person.
2Ds.
Really? Sexy Red?
2Ds. Okay.
I believe it's 2Ds or it's 2Ys. Can't remember. Either way, I'm kind of getting
She's a
there.
little
Can I guess? Is she a light-skinned black person?
No.
she's a little
Oh.
she's a little intense for my taste, honestly. She has got face tattoos and
Oh,
shit.
she is a light-skinned black person. What are you
I
talking
can't think of any models, like I get what you're saying. I mean, none of them I can think of right now. Maybe the fat bitches in that one Dove ad
don't-
where they're like
Why do you
talking
know
about all the different body
supermodel-
styles.
Like think about this. Like Playboy magazine is so dead. Like this would now be about an Instagram influencer. This would be about a TikTok girl if it was
Yeah.
made today. There is no institutional thing like Playboy. You could
Victoria's
just
Secret or something, really
Yeah.
read care about that shit.
supermodels. Like the only supermodel I know is Bella Hadid because she's constantly getting into trouble about.
And her and her
Being-
sister are
being
busted.
Palestinian.
I mean, they're just almost straight up ugly. I don't get it at all. They look like aliens or something.
Right. I don't know who else is I
Right.
don't know who is a supermodel.
Yeah, that's why when you asked me supermodel, I
Okay.
can't
We
I
need to
can't
let
even
Mike
think
go
of
off
one.
for a second.
What about Giselle?
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of, but she's old and busted. She's
Well,
way old
fuck
now.
out of it. Yeah, she's a human being that has
Yeah.
that has experienced the past.
Well, I
of
know
time,
Mike doesn't like
everybody.
her. That's why I bring it up.
Okay.
She busted.
She
You
is
don't like
now.
the alien types. You like Sexy Red.
I do like Sexy Red. I think she's hot. She looks good without glasses and with glasses.
What about what's that one chick? God damn it.
Ice
From what?
Ice Spice. I knew you were gonna say Ice.
Ah, and she lost weight. You know, she don't even have the ass that everyone seems to talk about now. But oh god, no, I'm not into that at all. Her face is ugly and her ass
Would you
shrunk.
blow her head off and fuck her?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe get rid of her face. That might help. But like I said, she lost hella weight. She's like
Hey,
on
man,
Ozempic or
one
something.
day you're gonna meet Ice Spice, and she's like, "I'm ready to fuck Mike," but
And I'm gonna.
but like, let me listen to this podcast first.
What about
I'm-
Charlie XCX?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is. I wonder if you would
Charlie
like her.
Charlie XEX.
Yeah.
Charlie XEX.
XCX.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie.
Is she trans?
No, she's like in the
Okay.
30s.
She's not trans. She's in her 30s, Mike.
She's all right, I guess.
She's just gotten a little old.
What about Taylor Swift?
No, absolutely not. She's disgusting. She's everything I hate in a woman.
Tall, thin, blonde. Do you like a blonde?
Independent, annoying.
Do you like a
I
blonde?
No, I like black hair and I like brown hair. I can't really think of any too many blondes. Maybe like Shakira or something that I'm really into.
Yeah, you like a Latina.
I do like Latinas.
You need a little salsa.
Hey, man, give it up for the white women. Come
White
on,
women are
man.
just they're like white bread. They're just it's like a good staple, but
Hey, motherfucker, you're talking about my wife.
well, you asked.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh.
Well, my mom is blonde, so I don't find blondes attractive at all.
Yeah, I'm not really into it. I
But your
No.
mom had a big ass, and that's why you like big asses or something like that. Didn't you say that before?
he's saying his mom, his
No,
mom
but
has,
listen.
he doesn't like. Okay,
You know, when I
his
was a
mom-
kid, I used to hide behind her butt and
That's
put
what
my
I'm
face
saying.
in her butt.
your mom?
When I was a little kid, I'd be shy around
That's
people.
why I remembered the story, because it's
I would
so
get
shocking.
I would get scared, like The Shining. I get
You
scared,
get scared. Yes.
and then I would run and hide and put my face. So,
So now that's why you're saying
Adam, you have the chance to do the funniest thing possible with your kids.
make them stick their face in my butt. Is that what you're saying?
And then fart and give him
Sure.
pink eye.
Yeah,
All right, I'll do
and
it.
then they're like, "I like
Why do I like
it."
men's ass?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Do you? I love the scene in this movie where they're having a barbecue, and they're looking for chairs for the party, and then they find his exercise chairs, and then they find his sex chairs, and they're all laughing, and like Eric Roberts is like so humiliated, and like so like
Awesome.
he's like, I made it as a joke.
Let's get it.
That was funny. That was really funny.
That's a cool thing to be like in your workshop as a husband, like often you're in the garage, like welding and stuff. The wife's like, I don't know what he's making in there. He's making a sex bench, but he's
That's like-
inventing. That's cool.
Did you ever see Burn After Reading?
Yes.
George Clooney is making like a sex swing.
That was
Oh,
the
right.
movie. Yeah.
I wonder if this
They're
was
funny.
inspired by Star 80. I imagine they're fans. Who isn't a fan of this movie? I mean, it's so hilarious.
Hey, remember the ladies wet t-shirt contest?
No,
I do. Those are some
Yes.
nice titties. Those are probably
And
the
the-
best titties in the movie.
and he
Hey.
gets mad at the guy because
The
he's like,
girl-
"You should have advertised. We could have made more money."
Oh yeah. The girls are good. I was looking at that stand-up comic hosting it though. That's a
Keenan
good-
Ivory
that's a cool-
Wayne's.
That's a cool gig. No, it wasn't Keenan. The Keenan was at like a banquet
Yes,
thing, which is cool. That's awesome.
and
that
his. Do
Keenan's
you remember
doing it.
his joke?
Oh yeah,
It's like
what was it?
white people do this and black people do this.
Yeah. Oh
What
yeah, it was like
it?
the one from this episode.
What was he?
Was watching.
It. Ah.
I know we can't remember, but it's
But also, Paul fucks a black girl in that scene. That's in my notes.
that's a good note.
Keenan Ivory Wayne's is the comedian. God, I wish I could remember that stand up.
It's cool to see young Keenan. I mean, I only know him as like the Lorne Michaels in like a Lorne Michaels role. Never actually seen his like comedy beyond that. So it was kind of cool to see like early stand up of this.
It's like when you see Richard Belzer in Scarface.
Yes, exactly.
And you're like, hey, it's Richard Belzer.
I
Who's
googled
the guy-
thick supermodels. It's not looking good. They're just all fat.
Oh
It's
yeah,
got to
the
be like
plus size kind.
yeah. Then I clicked plus size instead of
1 sec.
thick, but that didn't do it either. There's got to be some in between or something that I'm missing. Sorry, my
We-
bad. I didn't mean to throw you off trail.
We haven't
there.
talked about Cliff Robertson as Hugh Hefner.
Oh, you mean Uncle Ben from the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
He's also
Yeah,
from Happiness.
he's not in Happiness. It's Ben Gazzara.
Oh fuck.
But he's kind of like whatever in the role. He's fine.
The first time I watched it, I thought it was kind of lame. He didn't really fit the role. But then in the second time I watched it, I thought he was a lot better.
I mean, he completely sizes up Paul Snyder immediately. Like he just
Right.
knows. And
course.
it's like, and also, I think they were scared of him suing Hugh Hefner, and I think they were trying to be, they didn't want to ruffle any feathers. So it's just kind of like, oh yeah, he's there. It's Playboy, but
I mean, they do call him Hefner. Hef.
Also, one thing I thought was interesting was I listened to this interview with Eric Roberts. So when Eric Roberts was making this movie, he got a phone call from Peter Bogdanovich. And Peter Bogdanovich was saying like, oh, hey, Eric, I hear you're making a movie about my girlfriend or my wife. Just so you know, only I can make the definitive film of this because only I know all the story. And then Eric Roberts was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Like, I'm open. But then obviously that movie never got made. But he was trying to make a movie about this, which I think
That's
is
really weird.
I
right?
mean, I bet he was just
Isn't that weird?
He was obsessed. I mean, imagine if your girlfriend died or was murdered, like you would be just catatonic. Like the woman you just fell in love with her, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
I try to fuck her sister. That's probably the best thing to do. It's the closest
I mean,
thing. It's the
you're
closest thing to her.
catatonic for a little while. When you come out of it, you try to fuck the sister. It's all makes sense.
here's the Keenan scene.
All right.
I think I noticed about black dudes and white dudes is that like black people chastise their kids more. And as a result, you don't see black people doing crazy things like shooting the president. That's true, because if a brother would have shot the president as they were leading him away, it'd been like, look, man, just don't tell my mama, man. My mama gonna kill me, man.
Good stuff.
Pretty
funny.
good.
Yeah.
That was probably a funny joke 40 years ago.
Yeah. Mike, this is the same thing as you being like, nobody's hot in this movie, this old movie we're watching, because I want them to all have giant modern day asses.
Ain't gonna
Tits,
happen, bro.
big thighs,
You gotta
big brain.
You gotta think of the jokes and the asses in context of the time in which they took place.
Yeah, I'm having trouble doing that with all these old movies. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Pretend you're an old gentleman from the 70s.
I think that voice is lame. I think that's
the black guy voice.
I don't know what he was doing. This is bad, Richard. I mean, we had Richard Pryor already back then. This is not.
Yeah, I was like Richard. It's like not as good, Richard Pryor.
Also, I figured he'd be more of a sketch actor, but maybe he did stand up. I mean, Damon Wayans did stand up. Marlon Wayans did stand up. Like, whatever. Maybe they're just playing a role in a movie and it's like, yeah, I didn't write that shit. That's not my fucking act.
I watched a Marlon Wayans, like the last Marlon Wayans special I watched came out like a couple of years ago. I watched it and he's like bombing. It's like his special. It's like an outdoor special.
No.
He's bombing in the special.
No way. No way. Not Marlon Wayans.
I'm just saying, why would they release it? He's like, you know what I mean? They could have like juiced it up. They don't even juice it up. Just it's an interesting thing to release a special where you're bombing.
Probably got money up front.
Opinion. All right. But
I guess.
Hey, dude, there's a lot of ways you can make a special work where it doesn't work in the live
No, you can't.
recording. Well, you can make it not seem like you're bombing. Basically.
Cut the people laughing.
No,
That'd
you
be cool if a
add
guy
laughter,
was
add
bombing.
canned laughter.
Like you film a special, you bomb, and then you're just like you cut and people laughing, having a great time.
Great idea.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That would be funny.
Oh, I was thinking because like about like this kind of so this movie. I was thinking about like the provocativeness of this movie, like the stuff of it at the time when it came out, like the all the nudity in the movie, um, and kind of like the. I feel like there's like an element of like it's like subverting like something that the time when it was like kind of slut shamey, you know what I'm saying? Or it was like more provocative because that was like the time. You know what I'm talking about? Or is that not true?
Okay. Okay.
I just don't think Bob Fosse gives a fuck in a lot of ways. Like he
Okay.
kind
I was
of
just trying to watch it in like modern. I was trying to like think about the context in which it came out from that angle of it, but I didn't know it was a true story, honestly. So I feel like it changes a lot. But
yeah, that's crazy. You didn't know that, but it makes sense. It's a long time ago, and it's like they all laughed. No one watches that movie except for like hardcore. It's like a Peter Bogdanovich deep cut. But I think Bob Fosse just he doesn't give a shit. He just knows this is how it is. He knows these guys. He knows these girls. He's around young dancers. He meets social climbers. He meets hustlers and pimps and people. Like I'm sure lots of dancers he had sex with or knew were doing prostitution, porn, and nude modeling, and he just was of that environment. He apparently, I think there's stuff in all that jazz where he's growing up around brothels or like burlesque shows when he's a young teenager. So
it sounds awesome.
this guy, also the producer of the movie, Alan Ladd Jr.
Is that Alan Ladd's son?
Yes.
Oh,
What?
nice.
Why
He
isn't his name also like Alan Ladd Jr.,
Senior?
Junior Bonner.
kid, child? It's just fucking a bunch of different words for child. It's just a little boy, like a little baby, a guy who's like a baby. Lad Jr. Get what I'm
His
saying?
father was extremely short. He might
You guys
be
get what I'm
very
saying?
small too. I'm not sure. I didn't until now,
No,
but
not short. I'm saying he's like a child.
he's
He
like
worked for United Artists, and he had produced a bunch of movies in the 70s. And then Bob Fosse was like, I really want to make this movie. I'm really into this story. I'm like obsessed with the story. And then Alan Ladd Jr. was like, I don't really, I don't really, it seems kind of dark, but okay, you do what you want. Go for it. So
Go
Bob
for it.
Fosse just was like zero commercial thought, zero film by committee bullshit you would have today. It was just like, yeah, let's make it. This guy, he's,
Oh,
he
cool.
won the Oscar for Cabaret. Just fucking, yeah, let's have Bob Fosse. He's a genius. Let's just have him make a movie like this.
That's cool.
And it just bombed,
Oh.
which is why we don't have movies like this anymore.
Oh no. God damn it. God damn it, Bob. Alan Ladd Jr., you fucking little kid idiot.
And then like Mariel Hemingway never really did anything this heavy ever again.
I remember she made a movie or a documentary about how like her family was like extreme depression, suicidal depression ran through her family.
Her sister killed herself, Margot Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway killed himself, obviously.
I'm sure other people did. There's this movie they're in called Lipstick that's so fucking crazy. It's from the 70s. So Margot Hemingway plays this woman who meets Chris Sarandon, ex-husband of Susan Sarandon, and when they divorced, she kept his last name.
Whoa.
Why?
He's I don't know, but that's what
because she's a dumb bitch. Why else?
A DB every time. I'm more of a. Is she a DC?
Well, I'm not gonna go that far. That's a bad word.
You don't want to say any bad words.
No.
So Chris Sarandon rapes Margot Hemingway in this really violent scene, and he's like an electronic musician. There's like this crazy music playing that's like like 70s like
Whoa.
music.
Like the first techno guy?
Yes. And then later on, he sees Mariel Hemingway, her little sister, who's playing her actual little sister in the movie. And she's like 14, and he just violently rapes her in the shopping mall, like in the catacombs of the mall.
Right.
And then Margot Hemingway like chases him down and like blows him away with a rifle in the parking lot.
Nice.
Why are these movies in the 70s about fucking kids? That's what
And
I'm
rape.
saying.
Because it was happening a lot. I mean, it's like, think about how many serial killers were in the 70s. Like they could
Oh,
just,
yeah.
and
Sure.
hitchhiking and just like, they didn't talk about sex ever. So it was very easy for guys to rape a girl and then
Blame it on her.
out of shame they would just keep it quiet, and so they would try to
Right.
they would try to deal with this sensationalistic thing in a
Well, and
mature way, but they're also being exploitive.
I mean, people
Well,
back
they
then
were
didn't.
learning. They were learning.
They didn't really believe in rape so much, right? The whole "oh well, what were you wearing" trope or whatever comes
free love. That's like
comes from that time, right?
the backs like
Both.
that's
All
like
that.
like hippie shit is bullshit. Because it was like free
Yes.
love, but it's really like a more exploiting women and stuff.
There's no free lunch. There's no free love.
I was thinking when I was watching this movie, I was like, also just like, yeah, like then they get blown away and something like that. But so like because I didn't know, I didn't know like, I had I was like, so this movie, I was like a little like I don't know what you I guess want to talk about ratings right now.
Yeah.
Before we go into
Uh,
ratings, can I just
oh.
understand the rating system? Are we talking like it's about
Like-
if we would hold on? I get that it's about if we would recommend the movie, but
That's my rating.
Is it supposed to be like if you recommend it to just a random person, or like I would have different
Your
recommendations
your close
for
friend.
different people? Okay.
Like
For a listener, people who listen are
doesn't-
into the movies.
Okay.
you do you, man. You
Then I gotta go. I gotta go with 3 again. I know I use a lot of 3s. I was at a 2.5, but after just watching it right now, I will give it a 3. Eric Roberts is awesome.
Okay.
I
So
gave
was
it 4.5.
What?
I love this movie. I think this
Alright.
movie's really well made.
I guess
Well,
I didn't.
I was saying, I was going to say, like,
I love Eric Roberts.
before I knew that it was, so I didn't know it was a true story or whatever. So it's like, I'm watching it, I'm seeing, like, I was watching the ending and I was like, it doesn't, like, I was like, the edginess for its time is, I'm kind of appreciating it, but, like, I feel like it doesn't have a lot of surprises. It doesn't, like, surprise me at the end. I kind of
No,
goes
because they
where I
show
feel
that
like,
he's killing her pretty early on. It's like,
yeah, it kind of feels like it plays out how you think it's going to play
Blowing
out.
her
Yeah.
brains out and raping her dead body wasn't surprising to you? You thought
It
that was
didn't.
what was going to happen?
Well, I was thinking they
you
should
didn't
have
even know
had
he
it.
raped her.
You know what would be cool, guys? They should have had it where Eric Roberts is like about to shoot her, but then he gets shot and the camera pulls back and it's Hugh Hefner.
Didn't you think it was weird this movie
Yeah,
had
that'd be
Hugh
cool.
Hefner in it in Playboy
Nice.
magazine and you didn't know it was real? You just thought they used that as a location?
I thought it was a cool, like, I was like, oh, it's cool that it's about like a Playboy bunny.
You thought it was like a Tarantino? I like your
I didn't
Tarantino
think too
ending.
much. Yeah.
The bastards. Her mom comes back and gets revenge.
So anyway, I gave it when I watched it before I learned days later that it was based on a real story, I gave it a 3.5. I maybe give it a 4, knowing that it's a true story now. Because I understand like there's limitations to it, and then like it makes you kind of appreciate, I don't know, elements of it more than if it's just kind of they're pulling it out of their ass. So 3.75.
Can I get you up to can I get you up
You
to
can.
3.5 with Eric Roberts? I mean, come on, this is really good Eric Roberts.
There's no way
you're
this.
trying to get Mike up right now.
Yeah.
There's
hard
no
enough.
way
Hell
this
yeah,
movie
dude.
is a 4. There's just no way this movie's a 4. It's
How?
It's 1 star away from your favorite movies of all time that you'd recommend to people. It's just Not even
William.
close.
I give it a
Work the balls,
4.5.
William.
No way. I can go up to 3.5 because half a point is whatever. But I'm just saying.
Hey, what are you
that's
talking
it.
about?
I'm not going to 4. This is not a 4 level movie.
What's a
This
4?
is not.
Remember,
That
Black
Nazi-
Rain was a 4.5.
That Nazi movie was a 4 about the Nazi dude who
Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I gave that a 4, and I would still give that a 4.
I think this is better than Zone of Interest.
Yeah. All right. I just don't see it.
I also
really
love
like
this.
Eric Roberts.
I love this L.A. Hollywood shit.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I love this. I relate to this character a lot. I mean, I like this guy, the greedy, narcissistic, obsessed guy.
Yeah, he's got like a pedophile's mustache and stuff. He's just fucking you.
We can-
He's if you had like
He's me if
We're
I
just
was
like
more successful.
10 points or like a point sleazier. It's more of a
We can all
scumbag
agree that
than
Eric
you.
Roberts is great, but I don't think he carried the movie enough to give it a 4.
All right, picture if the character was played by the actual actress, because I think you're not
What
like
about- imagine if she had
keen into
huge-
it because you don't think Mariel Hemingway.
What
is,
about
like,
big
a babe.
jugs? Just giant jugs.
I would that
Mike is
That-
touching his
that would
temples
maybe-
right now.
well, you told me to imagine, so
He's
I
got
was
his
trying
fingers to both of his temples.
I was
He's
trying
doing
to
a
imagine really hardly.
really
like, when you're-
intense mind
Yeah.
exercise right now.
I was
So,
trying to think
okay.
about it. If she
And?
had huge breasts, that does not equate to a 4. I'm sorry. This movie is
Sexy
just
Red is,
okay. No. Oh, if Megan Thee Stallion was in it, 5.
I think also Adam and
There
I
you go.
like Hollywood. We like movies, so we're more into this kind of
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm kind of the outlier in that one. I don't have all this technical knowledge that
You don't
guys-
like watching
that you
Peter
see-
Bogdanovich in New York City dating this girl behind his back and
whatever.
the private
that-
eye.
That guy that
being
played
like-
Peter Bogdanovich was fucking annoying. He's like a little weasel, annoying guy.
Sheriff of Rottingham. Oh, by the way, the detective. You know
He
who
was
that
cool.
is?
He was cool.
Josh Mostel.
The
Zero
revolting
Mostel's
blob
son.
from Billy Madison. Oh, Zero
Oh.
Mostel's son.
Yes.
Amazing. I didn't know that. Yeah, he was from Billy Madison. That's of course obviously his best role, biggest role. But he's got
He's
a rich
Jewish.
legacy. Cool.
I don't know if you could tell.
That's
Zero
cool, that's
Mostel
cool,
is,
Dave.
of course, the star of The Producers. Is there anyone in this
Nepo
movie we didn't
baby.
talk about?
He's a fucking Nepo baby.
I love the guy who plays the plastic surgeon, David Clennon. What is he in? He's just in stuff.
I
He's
don't
in The
remember that guy.
Thing. He's in The Thing. It's cool. That's cool. So how many movies? I mean, like I watch a lot of movies, so I'm pretty generous with the ratings because I watch a lot of bad movies.
Yeah.
So this movie's a lot better than most of the shit I watch.
I guess I got to watch more shit. What
I mean, for
about we were talking about people in this? What is Robert Picardo from? I recognize him from a bunch of shit. One of the interviewers.
Inner Space. Remember the cowboy in Inner Space?
Okay.
I've never seen Inner Space.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Inner Space is. Sorry.
Oh my god.
It's the movie where Dennis Quaid shrinks down and goes into Martin Short's body.
Oh, okay.
Meg Ryan's in it. It's Joe Dante.
I can't
Is
remember
it?
that
Did
movie
you
was
ever
good
see
or
The
not.
Howling? No, Robert Picardo, Mike. Here's a movie you remember him from.
No, I know where I know him
Gremlins
from.
2. Gremlins
No.
2.
I know him from Star Trek. He's
Of course.
yeah, that's where I recognize him. He's Deep Space Nine, I think.
I
I'm
don't
not
watch Star
mistaken.
Trek.
He's the doctor.
He fucks the hot gremlin in Gremlins 2 in the bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Oh, I forgot about that moment. That's a cool guy.
And she's like kissing him. She's like, she has her lips and she's like puckering to kiss him.
Yeah. That's a movie we just saw as a children.
I saw that
Movie where a
movie a
guy
couple
fucks.
months ago at New Beverly as an adult.
Nice.
That's a 5-star film.
Gremlins 2?
Oh my god. There's probably, I mean, that movie really, every moment is just flawless.
Hell yeah.
It's up there with Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I gotta show my kid.
It's too scary.
I show my kid Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Hey, my kid liked the scary parts of Pee Wee.
Has your kid seen the first Gremlin? Now, remember, the first Gremlins has the big story where Santa Claus dies in the chimney, played by his Phoebe Cates tells about her father got stuck in the chimney and died. And then like all these parents were like, "You're telling my kid Santa Claus isn't real."
Oh yeah, I would be pissed.
So you can't show your kid Gremlins until they know Santa Claus isn't real.
Damn. I check Common Sense Media a lot before I. Just because, like.
Did you show him Star 80?
Yeah, that wasn't on Common Sense Media for some reason, so I figured it was okay.
What Common Sense Media tells you, like, okay, movies to show to your children?
Yeah, it tells you like what's in movies, basically. Like what might like how positive movies, you know, if it has positive things in it, and also like things that maybe you don't want your kid to see yet.
What was that called?
Common Sense Media.
All right, I'm gonna try to start using that.
It's too late for your daughter, but that's
cool. My daughter wants to
She's-
know how Santa Claus gets into our apartment. She's very smart.
Yeah, okay.
Magic
you don't have
key.
a chimney, you're saying? Yeah,
I don't have a chimney. He
What
gets
do
a
they
magic
say?
key.
It's like I think they say he comes out of the toilet.
Mm.
If you don't have
She
a
does.
chimney,
She
No,
does
he
like
has a key
skibbity
of the
toilet. No, I
He
tell her that he has a magic key. That's what I tell her when she asks me that.
that opens every door.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
terrifying.
We got to get that key. Make some robberies. You know what I mean?
Key to the city.
Ooh, that'd be a fun movie.
So
Heist
next movie,
Santa just goes around robbing people. Is that a movie? That would be a
Yeah.
good movie.
raping people in their sleep.
Oh yeah, blowing their heads off.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, now we have a request to do a movie. Remember, you can request a movie if you leave a 5-star review. Somebody requested Siege, which we'll probably do after this next one. I kind of want to do like a goofy, fun
Let's get
80s
goofy.
LA movie. Do you guys know what Kinjite is?
No.
Absolutely not. Something
Sure.
Japanese.
Charles Bronson in the 80s as an LAPD cop dealing with the Japanese Yakuza.
Hell yeah.
It's like a
Sounds right up my alley.
canon film.
4.5.
It's good. I wouldn't give it a 4. I think it was maybe a 3-star, 2. And I mean, there's some great scenes in it. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to rewatch it.
They want us to do The Siege, or is there some movie called just Siege?
Siege.
Oh, okay. I only got The Siege. His Siege movie.
It's
No,
this
I don't know.
Canadian movie where they go on a killing spree of gay people.
I don't know. I don't know if
Don't take the bait, guys.
yeah,
Make
would
sure
our
you don't
fans
take the
like
bait.
that?
Well, you don't have a choice. We have a thing.
Right.
We have to do it.
William made a deal.
I couldn't finish it the first time I watched it.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not really expecting. I
It's all
expect
right.
Mike to give it a 0, like a 1 star.
Oh, no.
But maybe you'll
It's gonna face
like
Mike's
it.
wrath. It's gonna be like the Ice
You're a
Spice
hard
of
cookie to
movies.
put, but we also have to get you to watch more bad movies so you understand the lower.
That's it. I'm not understanding the appeal of shitty movies, which you guys do, and I need to be
just think
more.
you're
I need to
way
be more open-minded.
underestimating how bad movies can be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's extraordinary production value in Star 80.
I almost never rate like on Letterboxd or whatever. I'll never watch 1-star movies all the way through, usually. So I almost like never rate a movie like once. Sometimes I'll stick it out, or like for some reason I'll have to watch it. But otherwise, it's like I won't even like pick a 1-star movie to watch because there's so many movies.
Why would you? Why would you
Exactly.
pick the worst possible movies to watch?
So I'm saying like for a movie to be 1 star, it's like it'd be kind of bizarre for me to
People
actually
recommend
watch
them.
it enough.
No, I get it.
They
and
get
that's a
good. They get
way.
good reviews.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm really.
I
not
saw the
saying
TV
anything,
glow.
so-
I mean, I gave that half a star.
Damn, dude.
Siege,
That
Canadian
has like
movie.
100% Rotten Tomatoes, basically.
You're fighting the good fight, William.
Not for me. Not for the audience I saw with, who were just completely bored. But hey, sometimes you get in your phone, you just sit there and the movie finishes. What's a shitty
Yeah, I
one-star
never go
movie
to a
I
movie
watched?
theater.
But at home I don't watch. I mean, King Kong, Godzilla, the New Empire. Holy shit, was that bad?
This movie, Siege, is also known as Self-Defense. Is that the correct movie?
Yes.
Richard Collins is in it. Hell yeah, I like him from Trailer Park Boys. Phil Collins. No one. I know you guys don't like Trailer Park Boys.
I gotta pee.
All right, but we're doing Kinjite, then we'll do Siege. Ryan might be back.
Yeah, right. That sounds like Ryan's back.
He'll like a Japanese film. He understands
gotta-
and appreciates Japanese culture.
We gotta welcome him back to our bosom.
Now that Ryan's back, are you guys going to demote me to listener again, or you can keep me around? I won't
don't
be.
think
I
he's
won't be
gonna
mad.
show. I doubt he'll even show up.
Okay. Fair enough. Cool.
Later.
Later, man.
Bye.